And now it's time for our talk with Andra. So we know Andra very well. We have had her on board, I think, the last 2 editions of our conference, right? Last 2.
Yeah.
So I think what they are building, what they've built, and what they are on their way to build, Andra and the rest of the team, I think it's amazing. It's a decentralized social media platform. So think of like LinkedIn or Twitter, but decentralized, built on Divinity blockchain. And also, I think what's very interesting to see, it's like they're actually building stuff. They already have, I don't know, more than 10,000 users. Well, I think Andra will explain that. And they haven't raised any money, right? So no token sale, no VC funding. So I think it's very, very interesting to see that, because we don't really see this, I think, in blockchain and crypto. There is usually a lot of money beforehand, and then hopefully something is built, and sometimes nothing is built. But Andra, very glad to have you here. First of all, I think it would be nice for all of us to understand a bit better, what is Distrikt? What have you built? What is your objective? And then I have a lot of questions for you, and I think the audience also have a lot of questions.
Yeah, sure. Sounds good. It's very nice to see everybody. I'm happy you guys could join. Like Victoria said, my name is Andra Georgescu. I'm the co-founder of Distrikt. Distrikt is a social media application with a professional twist. We are focused to serve mostly young professionals that are passionate about new technology. It is 100% decentralized. It started off as being decentralized from an infrastructure level. And it's a fairly young project. We started off last February with an idea. In July of 2021, we launched the web application. So we moved pretty fast with the MVP. In September, we launched the Android app, and in January this year, we launched the iOS application. We now have around 90,000 accounts that were created on Distrikt. We do have a bit of a bot problem, like all social media networks, both centralized and decentralized, which is why I said that we have 90,000 accounts and not 90,000 users, because I don't think that would be very honest of me. We know the number of accounts. We approximate the number of users to be around 40% or 50% of that. We won't be more optimistic. Even so, it's a great number for such a young platform. You guys can hear me okay? Is the sound right?
Perfect.
Yeah?
Perfect.
Yes. Okay, cool. Distrikt is supported and maintained by the Open Internet Foundation, which is a Swiss not-for-profit foundation with a mission to promote the expansion of an open internet through the development of digital products and services that empower the user. Like Victoria said, we have not conducted any type of token sales or raised any VC money. We are lucky enough to have the possibility to be self-funded, which is something that many projects don't have the privilege to be in the position to have founders that are capable of doing this effort. But we did want to make Distrikt a Web3 experiment in its entirety. This is why we decided to go all in and not make just the platform like as independent and autonomous as possible, but also the project itself, even from a tokenization perspective. So this idea of creating a decentralized social media network is not necessarily a new one. Various people have experimented with this concept of a decentralized network with varying degrees of decentralization. But I think what is new and innovative about Distrikt is its execution and the technology it relies upon. Because Distrikt, unlike most of the Web3 projects out there, lives 100% on blockchain. So because of the unique capabilities of the internet computer, which is the underlying network on which Distrikt was built, the platform relies on no centralized infrastructure like AWS, for instance. So the entirety of the platform, including the backend, the front end, all the assets, everything uploaded by the users is stored directly on the internet computer. This offers Distrikt a lot of autonomy, and it frees it of platform risk. So for instance, during the last AWS outage, Distrikt works just fine with no issues whatsoever, right? Usually with Web3 projects, you see indeed a decentralized backend, but a very, very centralized front end. And this is, a vulnerability, let's say. So for us, yeah, it made more sense to develop this social network on top of this decentralized infrastructure than it did to build on top of a centralized one, even though it comes with its own challenges. But I mean, if you want to have a network that in itself is as offers its users in its turn true freedom of speech, true privacy, and true autonomy, then you need to make sure that these values are like taking into account from day one, and you build the platform around them. It's pretty hard to backtrack once the platform gains momentum. It's not impossible, but imagine if Facebook wanted to go full Web3, it would be, I mean, it would be the end of Facebook, basically. So in terms of why we thought the project was needed, I mean, I think you're here, and that means that it's also pretty clear to you that social media networks have grown big enough and powerful enough that we can't easily brush aside the issues that they're faced with, because we're faced with them, right?
I'm on Distrikt.
You're on Distrikt?
Yeah.
That's so cool. Hi.
Hi.
I think follow you.
1 second. I think someone has a yes,
somebody's in a club.
Or doing spinning. Okay, sorry for that, Andra.
That was great, actually. That was a party vibe that just came in through the back door. So yeah, it's like some of you are already on Distrikt, so I guess the value proposition really appealed to you because it's still early. I understand that for most people, like privacy and this type of data autonomy and everything that we want to deliver might not be as obviously a need as for our early adopters, but I strongly believe that we're getting to a point where the shift is unavoidable, unfortunately. And I say unfortunately because that reflects on how serious the situation is with our digital identity and footprint right now in Web 2. I mean, we're talking about Cambridge Analytica, countless privacy issues, deplatforming not only of users, but of platforms themselves, censorship, and we can't really ignore these issues forever, right? And shutting them down is not necessarily a good option because these platforms are needed. This is why they're so popular. They create environments that nurture this type of positive relationship and means of communication, expression, collaboration, everything that we find so valuable as a society. So we need them. We just don't need to pay for them with our data and submit to censorship or face deplatforming. So we need to build better alternatives, which is what we're trying to do, bypassing big tech monopoly, relying on the internet computer, which provides us with much more of a comfort from this point of view, and offering people, an alternative that treats them as people, not as KPIs. Yeah. So in terms of platform risk, this is like one of the things I would like to underline, because if you're here, you're probably interested in developing your own project. And we found like this freedom from proprietary risk and from platform risk, we found it to be very, very valuable in what we've built so far. And in terms of privacy, if this is something that you're interested for yourself or maybe to offer to your own users, Distrikt is also a good example of a Web3 project that takes this really seriously. Because as some of you know, because you're users, Distrikt doesn't require any personal data from you when you sign up. So no usernames, no password. Its login is like a zero knowledge identity service that allows you to log in via biometrics or security key. The information never leaves your device, and it's inherently more secure and more privacy preserving than anything else out there right now in terms of accessing dApps.
But so one question, so people, what do they use, like their fingerprint or what,
Yeah,
or like the face or?
Exactly. You use the biometrics from your device, which means that basically the way you open up your phone is the same way that you can log in into Distrikt. All you need is to create an account. It will give you a number, which is the equivalent of a username. In the future, it will be a username, but early days, it's not even a year old. So it will give you a number. We call it an anchor number. And you don't have any password. You just have the biometric data that your device already uses to unlock the access to the Distrikt platform.
Actually, Victoria, I didn't tell you, but I created an account on Distrikt.
It's about time.
I use my finger.
Oh,
yeah, I
today.
use my finger.
You didn't even show me. Okay, nice. Well, I still haven't got down the app, so my bad. But actually talking about like users now you have a new user or account. You said you had 90,000 accounts, but how many do you think are like users? I mean, of those 90,000?
I mean, if 50% of them are users, I'm a happy camper. If we have like 45,000 real users, I'm happy. I don't think we do. I think the real numbers might be a bit smaller, like let's say 35,000.
Okay.
It's very hard for us to determine because we don't collect any data.
Oh, yeah. But how did you get the real users? Where did they come from? I mean, how did they?
Well, we started off within the internet computer ecosystem. We are one of the first projects and dApps that launched on the internet computer. So obviously our first adopters were within that community, people that were eager to experiment with this technology and see stuff built on it. And they provided us with a lot of valuable feedback. And we're still not ready to break out of the internet computer community. We are working on improving our onboarding experience. If you go through it now, it's not bad. I mean, it's a good onboarding experience for an MVP, but we're at the point where we need to evolve past the stage of an MVP type of product and into more mature and sophisticated experience. And so the onboarding, in my opinion, is key to us being more appealing to other crypto communities. And then after that, being even more appealing to the tech community at large. So going for, the Web2 tech enthusiasts.
How was the onboarding process, Daniel? Was it a bit complex, as Andra was saying, or not too bad?
Well, as I didn't know anything, so I didn't know. I was thinking, so should I use my finger somewhere or like my camera or something like that? So I didn't know what to expect. So I was really, like I knew nothing. I mean, it took me a little while to understand it, but I made it. So
how long did it take you? This is like very good feedback. I'm using you guys as a focus group right now.
It's actually a focus group.
I mean, I was also trying to calm down my baby. So now, I don't know, maybe 2 minutes, something like that. 1 minute and a half, I don't know.
Okay, that's decent.
Because I also spent some time reading the, stuff because I was curious. Like I wanted to see, like it's my first Web3 social media platform, right? So I wanted to learn like also had a look at the legal stuff, right? I had to sign or something like that. So I was
Yeah,
curious,
we
like,
have the
what's in
terms
here,
and
right?
conditions.
Yeah, something
where we
like
also
that.
state that we don't collect data from you and stuff like that. But we also have like if you get stuck a bit with the internet identity, which is this zero knowledge identity service that Distrikt uses, we have an infographic that pops up when you click on the question mark. So yeah.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, actually, yeah. So I had to write somewhere anchor ID, something like that. And I was like, but what is that? So I had to, read the message that pops up. And yeah, so I had a look at the ICP website also in the meantime. So
yeah.
I was learning.
There are some cool apps being built on the internet computer right now. I mean, Distrikt is one of the first, and I think one of the most promising, of course. But it's mind-blowing to me that the entirety of the platform is on chain, and that it works so well, given the fact that it needs to, like, the blockchain needs to reach consensus about so many things just for you, like, to interact with other people directly on chain. This is the true, like, this is what gets us really, really excited to tackle the challenges, because it's not as easy as putting together 3 libraries and some web tooling that works really well. You need to build it from scratch. So everything that you need and all the challenges that you have, you need to go back to basics and our devs are getting this type of old school feel, where it's neat, it's clean, but it takes you back to building from scratch. So it's interesting.
But I guess, Andra, it's probably, I mean, you're building something that's so new. I mean, even though everybody knows what a social media platform is, but like in a decentralized way, that I guess it's normal that the login process now in the beginning is going to be complex. I mean, like, I remember when I logged into the internet when I was young, I don't know, 10 years old.
Yeah,
in
it's not that bad.
No, but I mean, like the beginning, I know I'm exaggerating a bit, but I guess always, I mean, the beginning of all new eras, I mean, it's not going to be like extremely smooth, right? And then also you're building, as you said, everything is 100% on chain, right? Everything. I mean,
I think it's good. I think for the MVP stage, the onboarding it's really good. I have no complaints. I just think we're at the stage where it's time to tackle new audiences that are just not as familiar with this type of technology as our current users are. That's the only thing, because 2 minutes for somebody that didn't know anything about it, that's not very complicated. You just get a number instead of a username, which might be a bit weird for people that are not as techie or stuff. But then, Andra, I mean,
I want to ask you, I want to ask you something completely different. So people on the platform, what do they talk about? I mean, like when you look,
well, they talk. We have a dev community. They talk a lot about what's being built on like in our community. So they talk a lot about that. We also have our internet computer community that's talking a lot about, you know, tokens and trading. We have trading community.
So like Twitter.
Yeah, it's a bit, people are calling it the Web3 Twitter at the moment. We were aiming for a more professional positioning.
Yeah. So more like LinkedIn. More
like a decentralized LinkedIn, but people are more excited to use it as Twitter.
Okay. But can people also upload a photo? Like,
yes, directly on chain. You can upload photos. They are like, they go directly on the blockchain. Yeah.
Very cool. Well, actually, I saw one of our alumni, Carlos, at some point raising a hand. Carlos, do you want to ask your question? I don't see your hand raised anymore. Are you there, Carlos?
Oh, I think I see cool. His question in the chat. So he said...
I think it's cool if somebody has a question, we let people talk, and a little 10-second introduction is great, just to get a feeling of who's in the room, right?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
that. Is
I
that
see
okay?
he raised his hand again.
Carlos.
Yeah, go ahead, Carlos.
We cannot hear you, Carlos, or see you. You have a nice photo in black and white. You're blocked. You're blocked.
Oh,
You
somebody unblocked Carlos.
We need
ask to unmute.
Web3 for Zoom.
Ask to unmute. Oh God.
How can I block people? How can I unblock
ask
people?
to start video. I'm clicking on ask. Let's try with another one. I can see Kauter. Is that Saidi? I don't know. Can
yes, that's correct. Yes.
Can you talk?
Can you hear me? Yes.
Okay, cool. We cannot see you. Do you have a camera, or if not, please go ahead.
Come on, guys. We need to go quick.
Yeah,
we have so many raised hands.
Okay, Maxi. I can see Maxi.
Who's ready?
I can jump in. I'm ready.
Yes.
Can you hear me,
Hello?
guys?
Oh yeah, cool. So my question basically is that you just mentioned about the pictures being stored on the blockchain. So is that itFS kind of a structure that you mentioned? Okay.
No. So the thing is, I'm gonna have to shield the internet computer a bit because it's all in one. So instead of having storage and computation separately, you have both storage and computation in the same blockchain network with like infinite scalability, because the network itself is built to adjust the subnet that your DApp is on to the requirements that it has in terms of volume.
I see.
So go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, thanks for that. Yeah, I mean, I actually come from an Ethereum background. I'm a tech lead and also manage a team of developers, basically on the Ethereum. Basically, we write smart contracts on Solidity. So yeah, I mean, is the blockchain that your platform using on the Ethereum network, or you have your own blockchain? So that was kind of my question also.
Oh no, it's its own network.
Right.
It's its own blockchain. It's not based on Ethereum. It's actually integrating with Ethereum soon, but no, it's completely different.
Okay,
but
cool.
you should check it out if you're interested in having everything on chain, because Ethereum is awesome in terms of decentralization and everything that it provides. But the thing that I think that could really complement it is integrating with something like the internet computer to have everything on chain.
Right. And is there a white paper we could see? Any web presence?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Go to smartcontracts.org. Check that out.
Okay, awesome. All right. Thanks so much. That was my question.
Yeah,
Cheers.
welcome.
Thanks.
Carlos, I think now you're back, right? Or not?
You tried censoring me. I'm outraged. I want to ask questions. I always ask questions.
Yeah.
We need a Zoom decentralized Web3.
Yeah, something. Yeah.
So I was on the second cohort with the ETS. I was waiting for this conference, and just one question: how many projects are using the identity module of the ICP network? Do you have any idea? Because
well, let me count on my fingers the ones I do know that use them. So it's Distrikt, it's Discover, which is a sort of decentralized Reddit. We have OpenChat, which is a decentralized WhatsApp, if you will, or Telegram. We have Entrepot, which is a decentralized NFT marketplace that uses this. We have 2 DEXs that use this. Who am I missing? I'm missing somebody.
That's already not bad at all. But then
there's a lot.
One next question. You were thinking of moving ahead of the MVP stage, and maybe opening up to users not in the ICP space, in the definitive blockchain. How are you going to manage their identities? They're going to always have to go through that service, no?
Yeah, I mean, that service in itself is implemented in our platform. So it's an open source service that anybody can use. It's not like, you know, a centralized third party that we are reliant on. So the way they're going to do it is through the same way they access MetaMask, basically.
Okay, same thing. So it doesn't really matter if you're active in the rest of the ecosystem.
No, you don't need tokens. Oh, this is something that I should have mentioned in the beginning, but I think I got so used to the way the internet computer works that it totally flew out of my mind, because it has a reverse gas model, which means that the user doesn't need to pay or own or even be aware that tokens exist, right? They can just use the platform, and the gas, the equivalent of gas, is paid by the developers. The same way as in Web3, the maintenance, you know, of the platform, everything is paid by the owners of the platform.
Good. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Very nice. Thank you, Carlos. Yes, as he said, he was part of our second cohort and European Tech School. So, oh, I see a lot of questions. I don't know who, Maxi. I think I managed to say Maxi before, but please go ahead.
Yes, thank you.
Do you have a camera? I like to see faces, but I mean, if you...
Well,
I mean, maybe people are in their PJs.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Make it around in the living room. Yeah, okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, so my question here will be most for like for a beginner, right? Not like people who knows about coding or even like in that knowledge of blockchain. So my question will be here: how do, as a user, how can I be sure that my biometrics are not being stored anyway? Because we were talking with Carlos here on the chat, and he told me like, well, as long as you have your phone, it's okay. That information will be stored anyway. But
yeah, because the way it
like,
works, it's not software dependent. So it's not up to the software that uses your biometric. It's up to the hardware. So the way your phone is built, the information never leaves it. The chip that handles the biometrics,
right.
you know.
So it is something. Is this something that can be used on a notebook, for example, or only on the phone?
You can use it if you have a MacBook that has fingerprint access, for instance. You can use it without a problem. You can use it on your phone. If you have a security key, you can basically use it on any device, because that replaces the need for a biometric, and it's actually more secure in some ways. Because I've seen phones unlocked with somebody else's face, but with the security key, it's your finger on the button or it isn't, right? And you can also use a ledger, I think. I think so, yeah. Not sure.
Why did you choose for biometrics and not like a wallet publicly or something like that?
Well, I mean, it seemed
because
more
I mean,
clean.
with public keys, you're like a little bit more anonymous. Makes sense. And
sorry,
for somebody
can you
like
say that again?
With a public key or connecting with only wallet, maybe you are like a little bit more anonymous.
Oh, I don't think so.
You don't?
I really don't. No, I think this is the most anonymous way to access Distrikt that is available for us out there right now.
Okay.
A wallet, what type of wallet are we talking about? But mostly like Distrikt is a social media network. It's not a DEX. Your need for a wallet is very limited, almost none right now. And the way the internet identity works in terms of anonymity, I think you should log in to your wallet via the internet identity. So that would make your wallet more secure than having, like having the phrase and everything.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Where are
Yeah.
you based, Maxi? Just to.
Uruguay. I am from Uruguay.
So you're dialing in from Uruguay.
Yes.
Dialing in.
Yeah.
You're dialing in. It sounds like the 90s. Nice, very nice.
I was
Yeah.
going to ask where he was from because I could tell the accent was kind of similar to mine. So yeah, we're
Ah.
Is there
neighbors.
any Uruguayan over here as well?
He's from
Yes.
Argentina.
No, I'm from Argentina.
Oh, nice, nice, very nice. Yeah, we're here, mate. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Let's get another accent in. So, Kauter Saidi.
Hi, well, I am from Saudi Arabia,
Nice.
and I'm living in Tenerife, Canary Island. So,
Nice.
okay, I have a question. Because of consensus and social media, I guess there is a lot of transaction or traffic on the network. Like every person put a tweet or a reply. Is this when the consensus is made and when the transaction is made? Is it possible to give us a rough description or high level description of the architecture of the platform?
Yes, in terms of consensus, it's pretty complicated. Also, the cryptography itself is the chain key cryptography is pretty complicated. I don't think I'm one of the big brains capable of explaining it in layman terms, but I do have resources for that I can share. What I can give you as a high level information presentation is that the internet computer works a lot like a network of blockchains if you want to take each subnet as its own blockchain, right? But these are not independent sovereign blockchains. They are just subnets with that have in them the nodes required to store and offer computing capabilities to the dApp. And the thing that's very cool about it is that it's flexible and adaptable. It is governed via the DNS, which is its governance module, and can easily be modified to fit the need of different subnets, split a subnet, merge subnets, and so on, to meet the requirements of the dApps that are in the software that is built on top of it. It's okay, sorry, I was distracted by the chat. It's basically, are you familiar with let's say the Cosmos ecosystem?
No.
Let's say our subnet has 13 replicas, which are 13 nodes. And we are in a point where we need more. This is something that the entirety of the internet computer blockchain can accommodate and facilitate by adjusting the network. So scalability is not necessarily the issue. Consensus is not the issue because they all rely on the same consensus mechanism. They don't have, validators. The roles within the internet computer network are separated from traditional proof of stake system blockchain in the sense that the storage and like the technical part that a traditional validator would do is done by the data centers, professional data centers that need to abide by strict requirements that are located all over the globe, and you can see them in an Explorer, for instance. And then you have the governance, which is separate from that, and it's done via DNS by the token holders that have staked and locked their tokens in the neuron. So these two things are separated, which I think makes the system even more robust. So I'm not doing a very good job explaining this. I never do. Like I'm being asked this a lot, and it never comes out as coherent as it is in my head. So I think I should share more resources after this that will explain it a lot better.
Yeah, I would appreciate that, and also I will look at white paper of the platform of this district.
I can, not sure how. Victoria, how can we share these resources with them?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean,
We can
because
share
I have like
email.
a big list of them. Yeah. Because we've gathered a big list. It's the same list that we use to onboard new developers, for instance, right? If somebody joins our team and we want to like do the proper research, I can share that with you guys.
Yeah, maybe, you know, if people want to receive this, you can reach out, you know, you already receive an invitation by email, you can reply back, and then we can send you things. Is that, I mean, if not, also maybe in the chat box, but I think since Andra, you're answering questions, it's a little bit difficult also to be looking now for different folders, right? So yeah, okay, let's send it out to people. So yeah, reach out to us. Okay, we have more questions.
I'll send it to you, Victoria, and you can centralize their email addresses, right?
Fantastic. Yeah, let's do that.
Awesome.
Let's go for another question. So Benoit is also one of our alumni. He was also part of one of our previous cohorts. Benoit, you want to?
Hi.
Hello.
Hello. I have a question regarding the cost for the usage of the social network. So since everything is stored on chain, I think that every time that someone posts something, then it has a cost to be put on chain. And the other question is that I understand that the Distrikt app is related to the ICP, so the internet computer. And also I heard that there will be maybe an app on Ethereum. So my question is, if Distrikt is a portable app that can work on Ethereum and also on ICP. And also you said that it has its own blockchain. So I don't know if it is just an app which is running on ICP or Ethereum. And on top of that, that's its own blockchain, maybe to store the data of the social network.
I think I can answer part of it. As far as I understand, Andra, it's correct that Distrikt is it's built 100% on Dfinity blockchain, right? And that's why everything going on Distrikt, on your decentralized social media app is on chain on Dfinity. But that's what I know.
So Distrikt lives 100% on the internet computer. But the internet computer is planning to integrate with Ethereum. So
okay, to enter
that would be on a blockchain level. So the thing that you could do is have, you know, I'm guessing this will be most useful for DeFi projects actually than for Distrikt itself. But of course, we are planning to have, you know, SoFi, so social DeFi components. So maybe in the future that will be more interesting to us as well. But regarding your first question, can you repeat that?
Yeah, so how much will it cost to use the Distrikt app?
Okay, yeah.
Something.
So it's to be honest, it's kind of ridiculously cheap. We haven't done the math, but I can tell you that after 6 months of being live, so now we're approaching 12 months, we're approaching our 1-year anniversary. But after 6 months, we spent $100. Now, of course, this grows the sum, you know, the more you scale. So probably now we're looking at, I don't know, double or triple that, because we have doubled, almost tripled our users and also the content that we store. And, you know, the platform has been more resource intensive than it was 6 months ago. But yeah, this is the only like hard sum I have right now because we haven't done the math in a long time, but it's cheap. It's cheap. It relies on cycles. It's basically in order to pay, you take ICP tokens, you convert them into cycles, which are stable. They're not non-fluctuating. and you pay with cycles for all your needs.
Okay, so you said on average for 6 months to use the Distrikt app, it costs on average $100.
Yeah, we were very shocked. Like at the end of last year, we did some math to see how much money, like how much it cost us to keep Distrikt up and running, and it was very cheap. I think now it should be a lot more, but it's still nothing compared to AWS.
Just to be sure, so the $100, is it the cost that you pay to maintain the platform, or is it the cost that a user has to pay to use your network?
The user never pays anything unless they want to. They can also fuel the platform with tokens in order for it to have the resources required to operate, but that's like a donation. The reverse gas model means that the developer pays for storage and computation. So we pay. The user doesn't even need to know that the platform is on a blockchain, that it involves any type of cryptocurrencies or anything like that. They can use it like they use Facebook.
Okay, thanks.
There's a very interesting question in the chat. I mean, actually, 2 weeks ago, we met your co-founder, Aurel.
Yeah.
He came to Barcelona, and we had a few drinks with him, and we asked him directly, so what's the business model? How is Distrikt sustainable? Like,
I'm very curious what he answered.
No, I mean,
I have the answer.
I have the answer too, but maybe you want to explain it in another way, or I don't know. Should I share it?
Yeah, share it. Share what he said.
There's no business model, he said.
He said, yeah, of course. There's no business model because we decided early on that Distrikt is not going to be a business. And what that means, because what's the purpose of a business, right? To generate revenue and wealth for its stakeholders. Well, Distrikt doesn't have any stakeholders, shareholders. It's maintained by a not-for-profit foundation. The purpose behind it is to make it as self-sustainable as possible. So our goal, if we ever introduce any monetization tools or implement anything regarding the monetization of the platform, would be to make it self-sustainable. This is, I mean, it's part of the reason why we conducted no token sales. I mean, we want to tokenize the platform, the service itself. We just didn't want to do any private token sales and conduct anything that would benefit us. It would benefit the VCs, but it would exclude the user. So this is in the sense of having a true Web3 experiment. Again, I'm not saying that we're holier than the Pope and this is how you guys should do it. No, this is like truly an experiment. We might have, you know, a great success or an epic fail, but we think it's totally worth the shot, the funds and our time.
But no, I think exactly Aurel's answer was like, there is no business model. But I think, yeah, so as you said, like maybe something you should do at some point is find a way to monetize something to kind of like make the network sustainable, because now you said, okay, of course, $100 or whatever you spent last year.
Yeah, I think the community can do that themselves. We've been thinking about this a lot. I think if we give them the power to do so, they are going to monetize it for themselves. Because Distrikt, by the end of the year, our plan is to have it 100% user governed. So that will bring like next level, the level and degree of decentralization and autonomy that Distrikt will have by the end of this year, I think is unprecedented, because it will be decentralized on an infrastructure level, back and front and everything, and it will be user governed. So the same way as the internet computer is being governed through the NNS right now, and you can make any type of changes that you want to the network itself, the same way Distrikt is going to operate by the end of the year. This means tokenization, but this doesn't mean a token sale that the proceedings go to us. It means a tokenization event in which any proceedings that happen go into a community pool that the users themselves control through this SNS. So that's going to be another interesting experiment, having the users issue their own token, control their own token, and see how they deploy capital in order to grow the platform, or maybe not. I don't know. It's a bit anxiety inducing, but I mean, you don't want to put your blood, sweat, and tears into building something great and then having, a 51% attack and ending up in a worst case scenario. I'm not gonna lie, it's keeping me up at night a bit. But I mean, we knew this from day one. Like, we knew that this is what we're aiming for.
Very, very, very nice. Very nice.
You
I think
just answered one of my main questions I had for you. It's like, who's the boss at Distrikt? Like, who decides things? Is it the
There's
community?
no boss.
Is the founding team? Yeah, that's what I mean. But I mean, at the end of the day, somebody needs to make decisions. Like, how this is done.
For
how,
now, it's us.
the
For now,
website, the
it's
logo,
us.
that kind of thing, right?
Yeah. For now, it's us. But by the end of the year, I'm hoping to turn a me problem into a you problem and basically have the users take on a lot more work, but also reap the rewards.
I just have one question for you. Sorry to interrupt. And it's just
Yeah.
one word. How?
How what?
How are you going to turn your problem into the user's problem? Because without it being chaos.
Well, see, the second part is more important than the first, because I mean, decentralized systems are great in many ways, but reaching fast consensus and decision making is not necessarily one of the strong points. The way it's going to happen is through a tool called the service network system. So what Dfinity is working on right now is taking their NNS, so the way the blockchain itself is being governed, and using that as a model for the service, the SNS, the words are not with me today, you guys. Using the SNS to offer dApps, basically plug-in governance. So you have these parameters that you can change and tweak and use, but in the end, it's very similar to the way the NNS work, which allows you to pass proposals, get them voted on, and then they automatically deploy and they automatically make the changes to the network, which means that the users can decide on stuff that is related to the way the token works and what they're going to do with the funds. Because we were talking about that, they can decide stuff regarding new features, if they want to accept new feature, which features, how they're going to be built, by whom, and basically grow the platform. We're not going to control our own smart contracts at that point. So the Distrikt smart contracts live in canisters. We have backend canister, front-end asset canisters, and all of those are going to be under the control of the SNS, which in turn is under the control of the token holders. So any maintenance or bugs, new feature releases, they all need to go through the SNS and be approved by the token holders.
Okay, but on the Distrikt network, you're also going to have users contribute with their own comments and publications and posts and etc. That is the bit that is before you get to the governance of the entire platform. How do you stop that bit there from going into chaos through flame wars and people taking, this is my tribe and I'm going to get along with them and not the other ones, and so on and so forth? I'm sorry, I know this is a question that would take you hours to answer if you wanted to answer it.
You're asking too many questions. I mean,
it's a good question, though. It's good. It's broad. It's a very broad question that we can have a beer and talk about? This is
Carlos,
the type of question.
Barcelona.
Yeah,
In
Carlos is
Barcelona.
joining the
Barcelona.
conference, so you can talk about that there. I need some of the other attendees to also join. I can see Inuit. I don't know. I'm pronouncing your name wrong, I know, but it's also a friend of us. He's probably also going to join the conference. So go ahead. And you are even also Romanian, right? So you have a little bit in common with Andra there.
Bună ziua, Andra. Hello, Victoria.
Hello.
No, so my name is Ionut. Okay.
How do I pronounce it? Sorry.
Ionut.
Ionut. Ionut.
Yeah.
Ionut.
You're close enough.
Ionut.
Close enough.
Yeah. It works. So my question was, is there any paid advertising tax? Because I understood that you're not making any money out of this project, but is there any sponsorship possibility for projects?
So regarding paid advertising, we don't have that right now. Like being able, like for instance, to advertise your business on Distrikt, right? We don't have that right now, and it's not in our immediate roadmap. And it's something that we haven't included on purpose because we want to go. This decision, I think, should be made by the community, because advertising the business in itself is not a bad thing. I think it should be on Distrikt. What I think should be up to the user is how we advertise it. Like, what means do we use to put the content out there? I have my own ideas, and I think the best way we can accomplish that in a efficient and fair way is through Distrikt, because this is why the platform is called Distrikt. In its final stage, it should be a community building tool. So it should be, imagine Facebook groups and Discord together in a Web3 social media platform. So in the same way that Facebook has these communities in Facebook groups, we will have our own communities on Distrikt, maybe NFT gated, tokenized with their own governance and stuff like that. This is our end goal with this platform, not just to keep it, you know, in a Twitter-like stage. And I think advertising, I think advertising for businesses will be targeted via communities and not via sophisticated algorithms that collect and correlate data.
Yeah, so I wasn't thinking about collecting data or things like this. Maybe
Sorry,
some
what?
pin posts. I wasn't thinking about collecting data or things like this, but maybe some pin posts or I don't know, mass messages to users.
We are releasing messaging, the messaging feature very soon. We've actually, we hoped to be releasing it today, but I think it's going to be on Monday, life of a startup. No Friday releases. So messaging might be a good way of doing that. I think pinned post might be even better. Yeah, I mean, I haven't thought of something this simple because we've been very focused on delivering. Thank you, Ionut. We've been very focused on delivering on our roadmap, and advertising hasn't really been on the forefront of our efforts.
You can at least follow me on Distrikt, maybe.
I will put your username in the chat.
Yeah, nice. I did. I posted the link.
Oh yeah.
The chat.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'll check it out.
Very nice. Cool. Hopefully we also see you in Barcelona.
Yeah. Hopefully,
yeah.
Very nice. So we were supposed to finish at 6 Central European time. I mean, let's take a few more questions because I do still see, for example, Michael, I think you haven't had the chance to ask your question.
Hello.
Where are you based?
I'm in the UK.
In the UK. Where are you from?
I'm from Italy.
From Italy in the UK. Good. Go ahead.
I don't come from a technical background, but so the first question comes to my mind was, how do you showcase content without having without collecting data from the users. So as a user, when I scroll through the page, how do I see the content?
You only see the content that you subscribed to in reverse chronological order. So from the newest to oldest.
Okay.
And if you want to discover new content, you can go to the stream feed, which is also a feed with all the content that's being posted on Distrikt, also from newest to oldest.
Okay.
Which sometimes is being taken over by bots, especially if we're mentioning any type of airdrops, or if any airdrops are trending, you're gonna see the stream being a bit flooded with reposts and stuff. But usually it works as intended, and you can discover new content and new users there.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so no fancy algorithms. You just see what you subscribe to, and yeah, if you missed it, you just need to scroll a bit more for now. But we are thinking of like notifications for when your favorite accounts are posting, right? So you can, if you haven't logged in a week and you want to see, like, you care about 9 people on Distrikt, you can, the same way like alerts work right now on Twitter, basically.
Okay, thank you. Thanks.
Thank you, Michael. So I can see Sergeja from our team. So she's from Slovenia, but based in Barcelona. What's your question?
That's correct. So my question is in regards to the censorship concerns, right? How are you monitoring sensitive topics? Are you monitoring them at all? I'm thinking like sexual content or content about war. Is this being monitored?
Yeah, we now have a full-time moderator, part of the Distrikt team that's working on this. And we have a report system that works very well, actually. And the dashboard for moderation that team members check, all of us basically check, not just our moderator. So whenever you go and you see something, you can flag it to us, you can report it, you have categories, and you can say this is reported because it's hate speech and it's being abusive. This is reported because it's trying to scam people. This is reported because this account is impersonating somebody and we know it, and stuff like that. So the report and the moderation dashboard and our own in-house moderator help, but it's something that needs to scale as the platform does. And the thing that we're interested in is opening these tools to the community and asking our community to basically nominate moderators for Distrikt and give them access to our moderation tool in order for them to help us handle more volume, because we're almost at capacity with everything that we need to go through. It's something of a ritual to go there, like after I finish my day and it's 9 p.m. I'm just squeezing in one more hour of looking up at our moderation dashboard, because I know we just don't have the manpower to go through everything. And I worry in this early stage, this is why this is a very good question. In this early stage, the product is vulnerable. It's vulnerable to be positioned in a way that you don't want it to be positioned. So one big, scandal or having Distrikt be the platform where something really bad happened could basically ruin its chances to make it. So I feel very protective of that, and I'm trying to encourage everybody to check that dashboard all the time. So far, to be honest, I expected much worse. Like, so far our users have been suspiciously well behaved. We've had a few instances of really bad accounts, but I think like less than 10. And we've been live for a year now, like really, really bad ones, not just some people that are, keyboard warriors and angry about stuff. I mean, racism or, you know, stuff that's really bad, and we acted very quickly. They pop up every now and a while, and if you keep an eye on, you'll catch them. People report them really fast.
Very nice. Thank you,
Okay,
Sergey,
thank you.
for the question. So guys, yeah, we are already 15 minutes over. Should we take one or more, two questions, and then I think I can only encourage you to join us in Barcelona, and then you can meet Andra there and her whole team, because she's coming with, I think, another 13 team members. So they're gonna be a whole gangbang from Distrikt. So a lot of people to meet there.
Yeah, I'm also bringing some cool people from the internet computer ecosystem at large. So for our panel and stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, I think people are very, very excited to spend a few days in Barcelona talking about crypto, because everybody's on board.
we too. Very, very nice. So I can see someone called
our team is also going, right?
Yeah, our team is also going.
Our team also.
Our team, of course. Queen, do you want to ask a question? I don't know if it's a girl or a boy.
It's a queen.
It's a queen. Queen, do you have a question? No? So then I think Tassos was saying something in the chat. Did you want to ask a question? Tassos, is that your name?
Yeah, hi guys.
Hello, Tassos.
So I'm from Greece. Nothing
Are you
to do
based?
with the question.
Are you based?
Yeah,
Okay, yes.
I'm based here.
So you're national in your own country. Good.
So about the, I think Andra said something about it's gonna give the problem to the user in the future. I mean, I thought something about that, and let's say organizations like DAOs, DAOs, you know, and all these decentralized organizations, do the founders like still gain some personal income after they have already give the control, let's say, to the community? Does it make sense how I say it?
I mean, usually they have a generous allocation of their own tokens. But in terms of the DAO passing funds to the founding team after it's been like decentralized and it's user governed, I think it depends on the model of each DAO. I'm not familiar with any such project.
Because, for example, for all these companies so far, I mean, at least the ones I know, or for the Web2 companies, all the founders have like a stock, not stock, like an equity percentage. Is it something similar with all, let's say, Web3 and decentralized organizations? Or it depends on...
It really depends. I'm trying to think of a DAO that I actually consider a DAO, because most of them are, let's say, either not decentralized or not autonomous, but they're definitely organizations. So if you take the internet computer and consider it DAO and the NNS being its governance module, it doesn't work as, you know, a shareholders meeting. You don't have the same rights and responsibilities. It's different, and it doesn't pay the founding team anything in perpetuity. No, I don't see that happen. I mean, I'm not an expert in DAOs, to be honest. I don't know all the models that DAOs use to operate. But if a DAO would condition, like if it would be, like if I joined and I knew that it would pay fees or some sort of income to the founding team, I would be very interested to know details, like for how long and how come. You can't really use tokens as, I mean, you can use them as securities, but it doesn't give you the same rights as a shareholder, right? You can have a pro rata distribution of profit. So if the project makes, let's say, $10 and you have 10 token holders and each one gets $1, that would make sense. But other than that, I'm not familiar with anything.
Okay, no worries. I mean, it wasn't like a direct question. I was just curious because it just crossed my mind.
Yeah, I'm guessing you were thinking about like, if I do a project in Web2, I already know the mechanisms that I can use to like have an exit and you know, make money out of my work. Whereas in Web3 is a bit different. And we're going into the extreme opposite direction at Distrikt. So you're asking the wrong person because we're going like so far away from the Web2 model that it's alien to me. I think more of a financial decentralized project would be way better suited to give you like more insights into how you could organize it.
Okay, thank you.
Now that you mentioned Andra Web2, I was curious, what do you think about Elon Musk trying to fix things like censorship stuff, freedom of speech, so things that Web3 fixes, but using a Web2 model, right? So what do you think? What's your opinion on that?
I'm thinking like, how controversial do I want to be? Like my opinion.
Very, very controversial.
I have a great example to how I see Elon Musk tackling freedom of speech, and this is something that I stole from somebody else on Twitter that I thought was on point. And that person said that there was this far-right movement in the United States, right, that was denying that the Holocaust happened. And they were like very loud about it. And they went to public newspapers and demanded to get their version of the truth published. And when those newspapers refused, they sued them for infringing freedom of speech. And that's kind of the way I see Elon Musk's stance on freedom of speech. I think we're all going to be free to agree with him if he takes over Twitter. And I think his disregard for factual based information is what worries me most. I'm not a big fan of having an Elon Musk owned Twitter platform. I like Twitter, it's my favorite social media platform out there. And I think it can definitely be improved. I don't like the way it's handling moderation. I don't like the way it's handling censorship. I think this is why I'm so dedicated to Distrikt. You can do better, and we're trying to do better. But Elon Musk will be just, I mean, what's the improvement? We exchange one Web2 tech bro with another. Like, what's the improvement there? I don't see it. It's the same. Nothing's going to change. If anything, you're going to get even more bots and more hate speech because now it's allowed, because freedom of speech now means also freedom of the consequences of your speech. I don't know. I don't get it. It's messy.
No, but actually, when we talk about freedom of speech, it's actually a very complex topic because I'm from Denmark. And I think Denmark is one of the countries in the world where we get the closest to freedom of speech. So what happens is that you can actually have like an organization where you all in favor of pedophilia. What is the word in English? You know, where you like small kids.
Yeah,
I mean, it's quite insane. So as long as you don't do it, as long as you don't do anything, you have that right.
You
have
can
the right.
promote it. You can promote.
Yeah,
you
you
can
can
be like,
meet,
that's cool.
and you can have a group. And so freedom of speech is it's to another extreme. And I even remember when I was young at some point, like stuff like, you know, I don't know, we have a queen in Denmark. And like, so we've always had like, okay, so people would draw her naked. And I mean, nobody has seen her naked, but I mean, like, and it's okay. I mean, I know in Spain, if someone is a bit too much, it gets removed from the media. So Denmark is so, but then sometimes you ask yourself, so, okay, is it necessary to have the right as a pedophile, I don't know the word in English, to meet with other people that agree that it's beauty to have sex with kids? I know it's a bit extreme, but this is okay in Denmark. You can meet with others.
Yeah, I think it's a very, very fine line. And I think we need to differentiate between enabling discourse, which is, I think the worst thing that the woke movement did was to debilitate controversial discussions. Like, if you wanted to have a debate about pedophilia, you couldn't. And that's, I don't think is good. Like, talking about it, being aware about it, having a healthy discussion about stuff, any type of stuff, it's different from promoting like objectively vile things. I just like meeting with people and being like, hey, let's encourage this happening some more in the world, because, children. I think but it is a fine line, and you can get drunk on power, and you can decide that your version of what's right is objectively right. So I don't want to be in that position to be the judge of if the user, has a good opinion or not. It's not but as long as they don't promote violence to other humans in any way, shape, or form, and they abide by basic human rights, I think discussions should be allowed. But like, promoting violence towards children is not a discussion. That's not a debate. That's objectively, factually wrong, and should be treated as such. Yeah, in my opinion, at least.
Totally agree. I guess we all agree here.
I mean, isn't this in everybody's opinion? I'd be a bit worried if somebody was like, I disagree.
No,
Violence against children should be allowed. It's a difference, like, between talking about if people are deranged in some way and how that works, and understanding what happens in their head, and trying to get them help, and like trying to understand their point of view, versus promoting stuff like that, I think.
Yeah, totally agree. Okay, so I think I asked before Queen to send his questions or her questions. So
Their Majesty, we can call them Their Majesty's question.
Him or her, we don't know what it is. Or maybe how was it, gender neutral? Okay, whatever. So the question is, if this is so anonymous, how do you deter trolls and dodgy, unscrupulous individuals from playing mischief in there? And if this is this is the same question, sorry. And then the other question is, and can this platform, I guess, Distrikt, accommodate virtual reality technology similar to metadata? So it's two different questions. And Queen is based in the UK, Queen Elizabeth.
Exactly.
So two questions. I don't know if you got them, but
yes. Yeah. So the first one is basically, how do we handle naughty users? Because it's so anonymous, we rely mostly on community reporting bad stuff to us. We analyze what we gather is actually activity. The only thing that we know is how active a user is. That's about it. So the more active, the more we try and keep an eye and make sure that, because they're so popular, they get like, we don't want to see some really bad things like something you described, right? The only thing we do is make sure our terms and conditions are being respected. But it's a handful. We're having a lot of issues right now with managing the volume. I think the answer to this question was basically answered a while back when I talked about moderation and the way we handle it. To be honest, it's the same answer. We do have some trolls. We do have some people that are trying to game the system because they think they're going to get an airdrop or some sort of, benefits. We are trying to discourage that as much as possible. the fact that we launched our own NFT collection was definitely a catalyst, because we launched a collection of 10,000 unique NFTs that are dynamic, and we have a few surprises related to that, and that got our users into a frenzy, and we had a big wave of new subscriptions. Most of them are fake, and we're trying to handle the volume that that announcement generated even now, and it's been more than a month. And the second part, what was the second question? Because I think it was related to the metaverse and VR stuff, right?
Yes, so if it's possible to, and can this platform, can Distrikt accommodate virtual reality technology similar to metadata?
That's cool. That's a cool question, because we just had a call about this 2 days ago with a very talented team in China, and they're doing a metaverse completely on the internet computer. And I think we will be able to see VR integration with the internet computer. And I think that, oh, hi, baby. She needs to be like the youngest Distrikt user. She needs her own account.
She will.
Yeah, so we want, our discussion and our desire is to see a metaverse that lives 100% on the internet computer, and within that metaverse, Distrikt can incorporate as much as its product as possible. And that includes VR. Our head of design actually is a huge fan of this technology. We have friends that work in this industry, and we're very open to seeing it integrated with the blockchain. Like it would be an amazing fit. I don't think we're there yet, but I think if we come back to this question in 2 years' time, we will be surprised by how far we've come. Like having, you know, your news feed in VR, and having ways of meeting with people from your own district, so people from your community in a VR room and stuff like that. I totally see that happening sooner than you probably imagine.
Very, very nice. So I think, guys, we went over half an hour. Not good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good. It's good because we could continue. And I think, I mean, I can only encourage you to reach out to Andra via Twitter or Distrikt, better Distrikt. But if not Twitter, I know you use Twitter a lot. I think you don't use that much LinkedIn anymore, right?
Not really. If I go there, it's like once every 2 months. I try, like, people are always like, I sent you something on LinkedIn, and I'm like, I hate it. I really hate it.
So
I hate it there.
Don't use LinkedIn, or if you don't have Twitter, then use LinkedIn. If not, also you can reach out to us if you wanted to receive some of the material Andra's going to share with us. And also, very welcome to join us in Barcelona when we have the 7th edition of the European Blockchain Convention. Andra is joining there with her team. We are as well, of course, with our team. And also, I encourage you to see our courses at European Tech School. Maybe, Daniel, you can share a link in the chat box. So, Andra, thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing your project. I think it's amazing. And I think it's an amazing experience.
Victoria, can you shut up?
Yes? Someone wants to say something? Someone said, Victoria, can you shut up? It's very direct, but if someone wants to say something.
Is that really what he said?
I don't know. I heard it like that. No, nothing wants to say anything. Okay, so Andra, thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for sharing what you're building with Distrikt.
That was hilarious. So
yeah, I don't know. I mean, that was a troll, I think, right?
I think so.
Yeah. Slam.
You gotta have one. Like, if you don't have any haters, you haven't done anything worthwhile.
Exactly.
Yes, I agree with Andra.
Yeah. Someone.
It's like that one guy from the wedding that is dancing, you know, funny.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, okay, guys. Thank you, Andra, so much for being with us here today. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Thank you for your questions. I think it was like very, very nice questions. As I said, reach out to her, reach out to us if you need anything from us. And Andra,
this was really fun. Thank you.
I'm going to see you in a bit. Yeah. Any final words before we we say good night. I was going to say not good night, but good evening.
I think, well, you guys should definitely check out our project. If you want to build something really cool, you should check out the Internet Computer. We're very happy with the way the tech works and with our developing experience. And yeah, follow us on Twitter and on Distrikt, and tag me for whatever you need. I'm very responsive. I do not sleep. I live online, basically.
And what do you need, Andra? Like, if you can ask, are you hiring, or like, how can we help you or help Distrikt?
We're not hiring right now, but we are looking to gather a lot of feedback. So just go in, test the app. At the top of your feed, you're gonna see a box where we ask for feedback. We review that every week, every Monday. We have a session and review the feedback. It's very good. Like, our users have helped us tremendously to find weak points and strong points and stuff. And just going through the onboarding process, going through the experience and letting us know what you think or where you think we could improve, that will help us tremendously. And if you like it, yeah, share it with somebody, help us get some more exposure and give people an alternative. That would be cool.
Fantastic. Thank you, Andra. Thank you, everyone, for joining, and see you online.
Yeah, thank you, everyone.
Or on real world in Barcelona.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you, Andra.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, thanks.
Bye, Benoit.
We should play some music or something, right?
Yeah, we should play some music. Yeah. Well, if not, Alexandra can scream a bit. That was nice. I think I heard someone said, "Shut up, Victoria."
Yeah.
Or am I wrong? It's good to have some trolls. Yeah. Thank you, Katerina. Thank you. Bye. Yeah, I'm not seeing now the chat. I just so got it. Thank you. Thank you, Leah. Good to see you here.
And Rene.
And Rene. Oh yeah, Rene was here as well. That's true. Oh, a long time we haven't seen him. Nice to see you here. I don't know if you're still here. Katerina, thank you. Little
And
baby here.
Ignacy Costas.
Oh yeah. I saw him as well. Thank you for joining. Cool. So I think we should close the meeting, right?
See you guys.
Okay. See you. Bye.
Bye.